While we were in mainland Portugal, a couple of stressful things happened. You saw some of them, but we've been keeping a big secret from you. I wouldn't necessarily say that we were ready to talk about it when we were on this passage, but it turns out that you can't hide from your feelings offshore. So as well as showing you what life is really like when we're sailing non-stop for over 48 hours, we're also going to get into everything that's been going on, how we're feeling about it, and what's next for us. So come with us as we sail 285 nautical miles from Madeira to Lanzarote.
Good morning. It's time to leave Madeira. It's been an awesome place, but we really need to get going to Lanzarote. Delphino will stay in Lanzarote for a couple of months while we reset our Schengen days and get a bit of work done and stuff. And then we'll fly back to Lanzarote, which is where we'll prep for the Atlantic Passage. The trip to Lanzarote looks like it'll be pretty easy. Light winds, average of 10 knots. Might need to motor a little bit. Maybe we'll finally get a chance to fly the Spinnaker. Curious to see what this one will be like now that it's just Laura and I. Should be pretty flat seas. Should be quite relaxing. Looking forward to it. It might look dark, but it's actually not that early. It's almost 20 to 8. Just the sun rises so late here. It's because we're on like a really weird offset. We're so far west and so far south, but yet somehow still on UK time. So the sun's rising at 8 and setting at 8, which is, yeah, unusual given that it's almost October.
Yeah, it's time to go to Lanzarote, and as usual I'm feeling a little bit emotional this morning, but I'll talk a bit more about that on our way out. Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go. It feels good, but also a bit weird. It's a bit sad that it's our last sail of the season, to be honest. I think both of us are feeling a little bit, and we know we're doing the Atlantic, but we're unsure what our plans are after that, so anyway, nothing to do but go.
Right, last sail of the season. Let's do this.
Yeah, to be honest, you can just drop it.
Bye, Madeira.
What a send-off. How beautiful this island is.
We watched Madeira disappear into the distance, enjoying the view, but sad to see it go. Time to put the sail up, and somehow I've been talked into doing the heavy lifting this time. Don't know how that's happened. We are starting with the engines on. Sadly, there's not going to be any wind probably until this evening. At the moment, we have got 6 knots of wind on our nose, and most of that is the wind that we are generating ourselves from motoring forward at 5.6 knots. And we have got 285 miles to go until we reach Lanzarote. So it should take us 2 and a bit days. So today is Tuesday morning. We're hoping to arrive by Thursday dinner time. It's been surprisingly emotional leaving Madeira, partly because we've had such a great time here, and partly because it's our last sail of the season. And as well as it being our last sail of the season, this is potentially and probably our last sail living full-time on Delphino. There's some life things going on in the background at the moment that mean that we may well do the Atlantic crossing and then have to relocate. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because it feels like we're just kind of getting into the cruising lifestyle, and we're just reaching the really cool places that we really dreamed of experiencing. We had some crazy experiences in Portugal with our engine breaking down, and now some like absolutely beautiful moments in Madeira. It feels like we're really exploring and we're really getting in the flow of the constant travel, and it's starting to get warmer, and yeah, now it's time to potentially pack it all in. So yeah, it's been really good while it's lasted, but definitely this passage is making us think about all the good times that we've had and what we're giving up, but also what we're gaining from our potential lifestyle change. But it's not confirmed yet, so we'll see if this even makes it into the video, because by the time I edit this I probably will know a little bit more about what's going on. But yeah, big feelings today.
Stu had received a job offer that was contingent on an acquisition going through, which was potentially what was going to happen while we were offshore. If everything went to plan, the job would be full-time in New York. So we were heading out into the open ocean, not knowing whether we'd still be living aboard Delfino in a few months, or whether we'd be tackling a big international move. We would have been really happy with either outcome, but I in particular found it extremely unnerving having so much uncertainty but with such little power over the outcome.
Hello from the evening of day one. It's 5:30. We've just been motoring all day. Not much to report at all. We've finally lost sight of Madeira and we've finally lost phone signal after almost 50 miles, which is crazy, but there must be a phone antenna on the islands that we can still just about see. And yeah, another day of motoring, another day on the engine, which feels kind of fitting for the coast that we've had to motor down almost entirely. It's a bit of a shame that we've had to start this passage motoring and the weather forecast is not looking like we're going to get a huge amount more wind for the rest of it. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we'll be able to sail tomorrow, but we may end up motoring the whole way, which is a bit disappointing. There are 2 dates that we're working around. Stu's got an important call Thursday evening and we've got a haul out booked on the 1st of October, so we're kind of constrained by both of those things. And this was the window that we have to get there. We could potentially have waited to Friday to leave, but the forecast for later on this week is looking a bit changeable with quite strong winds, so we thought that this was going to be the best option. It has at least meant that we've had quite a chilled first day.
Long-time viewers of the channel will know that while cooking all the rest of the time is my responsibility, cooking underway is firmly Stu's job. But I usually make something for him to reheat before we leave, because why cook from scratch at sea if you don't have to? For dinner tonight we were having a butternut squash risotto, which I deliberately made to have basically no taste or texture, so I'd be able to get it down no matter the sea conditions. Thankfully that wasn't necessary for this trip, but you never know.
We think the wind has filled in enough to sail, so we're going to get the Genoa out. It's still not quite enough to consistently sail, but we'll see how we go. We find that the sails tend to flap if the wind drops below 8 knots, and just as we got the Genoa out, so it's dropped into the 7s, but hopefully it picks back up again soon. But we're going to leave them out, we're going to keep motor sailing as we are. It has given us an extra 0.5 of a knot, a bit more than that, so yeah, we're now doing 6.3 knots. Good morning, just nearing the end of my second night watch. It's nearly 4 AM. We've actually got some wind now and we are sailing along at 4.8 knots. Wind arrived a little bit more suddenly than I would have liked. We were motor sailing along with sort of 6 or 7 knots and then suddenly a huge gust came all the way up to 14 and just like tipped the boat over. But yeah, so scramble, turn the engine off, reduce the apparent wind because it's ahead of the winds coming from sort of slightly in front of the beam, so us motoring forward quite quickly was making it all feel a little bit more intense. And as soon as I did that, it dropped down to like 11 or 12, and now we've got kind of somewhere between 8 and 10 and we're moving along nice and comfortably. We've made good time so far, but we don't necessarily have enough fuel to like fully motor all the way, so we're going to take these pockets of sailing when we can.
We're halfway. Yesterday was pretty relaxed, wasn't it?
Today's also been pretty relaxed.
Yeah, sort of still motor sailing, but sometimes the wind gets strong enough for actual sailing, which is nice. At the moment we're cruising along at 6.5 knots. I've been really enjoying these calmer waters. Like, I understand why people come straight for the subtropics and the trade winds, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it makes a much.
One of the main reasons why we didn't film much on day 2 was that I was really struggling with the uncertainty over our future, and I had a meltdown for basically the entire afternoon. All I could do was stare at the horizon, watch the sails, and wait. Stu did try to film me to show you the reality of our day, but my response to this was not publishable, so here we are later on in the evening.
Hello.
Hi.
We've just hit 100 miles to go. How do you feel?
Yeah, feeling good. I think today's been a surprisingly emotional day.
Yeah.
like last sail of the season and a lot of uncertainty and, well, you know, what's going to happen in our lives and stuff. And a lot of, I guess, like nerves over the Atlantic crossing too.
Yeah, both it's uncertainty and the inability to do anything about it while we're out on passage. Like, we can't just work through it because we're out here and all we can do is sail. So yeah, it's been an emotionally tough day and we haven't filmed a whole lot. But 100 miles to go, we'll be in tomorrow.
Yeah, and the sailing's pretty nice, to be honest.
Yeah, we're finally sailing.
5.5 knots with 12 knots right on the beam.
I'm about to go down for a sleep, hoping a good sleep will sort me out. And by good sleep, I mean like a couple of hours, and then I'm taking over from Stu.
Another beautiful sunset. I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to getting there. I gotta say, Laura is not thriving in this environment. It's hard, man. Sailing is hard. We're a long way from how really relying on the boat. So many anxieties that go along with that. The whole world is moving, tired, anxious. There's this kind of austere, dangerous beauty all around us. Crazy. But I do believe strongly that these kind of experiences, they sort of put perspective on the rest of life, how comfortable and easy it is in the decisions that we make. Land ho! So pleasing when you see it. I just love this feeling when you can see land and you know you've successfully made it. It's because sailing the boat is such hard work, the feeling of reward you get is very palpable. Yes. Laura, we're almost there. Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? Like, I love this feeling of successfully making it somewhere.
I can barely hear you, so I'd be surprised if the camera can hear you.
Made it though. Almost.
So Securite has just come through the radio from Fuerteventura Coast Guard for an inflatable white boat adrift, which is going to be directly on our path once we get a little bit further in. So yeah, adding some interest to our morning at least. It's nice to hear some Coast Guard radio messages. Again, we didn't really get any down the Portuguese coast. And I've been missing the maritime safety information broadcast. They're a nice way to know that your radio is still working every 3 hours at the very least.
There's something very freeing about this experience. Totally starkers on the back of my boat approaching Lanzarote. It's pretty good.
There she is. We have tried to sail because we thought we had enough wind, but we're going at 4.5 knots.
Which is fine. 4.5, I mean, it's a very comfortable speed to be going, to be honest. It's just that I've got a bloody work call. And it's like one of these examples where you can't really cruise whilst you're also working.
Well, you can, but it's just more difficult and everything becomes a little bit more stressful and time crunchy and
Yeah.
we don't like sailing with deadlines.
This is very comfortable. We're doing 4.8 knots. I mean, it's lovely cruising, really, to be honest. Couldn't be better.
The other thing that is driving our decision to go faster is that my passage craving this time has been the like frozen potato waffles that you heat up in the oven, and I'm like absolutely desperate for either that or I would accept other fried potato products.
All right.
I'm hungry, and that's all that will satisfy me.
Last time it was fried chicken, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And before our parents or anybody gets too excited in the comments, I'm not pregnant. That's not the right random life stuff that's going on in the background, despite all these like random, very intense cravings.
Feels like the wind just picked up a bit.
Yep, 14.
Oh no. Gross. Ew. Oh yeah, it's dead.
That's smaller than the other one, but still a stiffy.
That was definitely a stiffy. I saw them in the night, like jumping next to the boat. This is so beautiful. We've had such amazing sailing on this passage.
No, we haven't.
Well, in a few moments when we've been sailing.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Yeah, okay, we did a lot of motoring too. Yummy. How did you feel in the end after yesterday? Was that quite emotional for you?
Yeah, I think I just needed to get it out, and I was really tired yesterday, which wouldn't have helped.
Seems like you went down for that 3-hour sleep and woke up like, okay, I can tackle this now.
I mean, to give you a sense of how tired I was, I fell asleep for 3 hours at 7 p.m. and could have quite happily stayed asleep.
Yeah.
We had our lunch, very tasty, but our patience has now run out, and we're going to turn the engine on for the final bit. We are 10 miles out and doing 4.5 knots, so yeah, we'll get there a little bit. We'll get there half an hour quicker if we turn the engine on. And we're also expecting that the wind will die the closer to the island that we get and the more into the shadow of it that we get. There was supposed to be kind of a compression zone out here where the wind was getting funneled around the island and getting stronger, and we maybe felt that it's been like a couple of knots stronger, but really not that much. So I think we're going to give up on waiting for the wind and just get in.
Wow, this place is so insanely barren and desolate compared to the kind of lush greenness of Madeira. It's pretty crazy. It's blowing my mind, to be honest. Laura's deeply engrossed in selling sunset.
I'm transitioning back to land life. So it's time to swap out our Portuguese courtesy flag for our Spanish courtesy flag again. And inspired by our friend Jack from Brimble, we are going to up our musical accompaniment game for the raising of the flag. So I'm going to treat you to one of my favourite Spanish song as this goes up. Are you going to do any of the dance break?
We're gonna go beyond him.
We've just arrived into Marina Rubicon. The sun is very, very strong here. It is quite warm, and we've just been measured. Stu's gone up to the office to check us in. Some guys come down to measure the boat, which has never happened to us before, but the measurement that he's taken matches the measurement that we thought it should be, so everyone's happy. So that's it, we're all in, all docked up. Stu's just rigging up the sunshade now because it is very, very warm here. And yeah, I think we're both relieved to get in. That was the sort of length of passage that was just enough that you're really, really bored and have, like, we always say that day 2 is the worst day because you like haven't got used to the motion of the boat yet, and then after that you start to feel a bit better, and it just felt like this whole passage was day 2 which it was, but yeah, like the first day, because we'd done a passage so recently, also felt a little bit like day 2, and it just felt like purgatory kind of the whole time. But we're here, our last sail of the season is done. I think we're both ready to head back to the UK, have a little bit of time away from Delfina as much as we love her. But yeah, we've got a lot of work to do between now and then. Got a lot of cleaning to do, got to get the boat squared away. But for now, we're just going to chill out for a bit.
Wow, it's hot.
Thanks for watching. Next time, we've got a race on our hands to pack up Delfino, ourselves, and enjoy as much of Lanzarote as we can before heading back to the UK.